Raising funds is a very important part of our role, because no longer can we rely on being successful every year with government grants. No longer can we rely on pharmaceutical companies who want to trial their drugs giving us their trials. We really have to be much more proactive in raising funds for the research that we want to do.
There's increasing demands for funds from everybody in every sphere of life. As a group, we sought funding from a range of sources, so that's included commercial sponsorships, government grants. Part of what we were trying to do was to develop a greater focus on fundraising, but also to enable patient engagement to help support some of the research.
Well, as members of AGITG, raising funds is so important because obviously without it there will be no research done. Trials are critically important because without them we really don't advance our knowledge about the best way to treat patients with cancer.
I did my PhD in GI cancers, and I've worked as a clinician researcher in GI cancers for some 20 years, and during that time there's been a huge change. The treatments are much more effective and outcomes are considerably better overall, although there's still a long way to go. We all believe that clinical research especially delivers better outcomes to patients and enables these cancers to be treated much more effectively.
I want something like $5 million a year to spend on clinical trials in GI cancer. Now, to achieve that, we really need to get everybody together to work together to achieve that goal, and we've got to sustain that over time.
So I was involved in the first Gutsy Challenge, which was a climb of Kilimanjaro.
So our Gutsy Challenges are really a key part of our fundraising program, and many of these are led by members.
So collectively we raised something like about $150,000. I came back and thought, well, I wouldn't mind doing something like that again, but we want to make it something a bit harder. I decided that Mount Aconcagua in the Andes would be a good option. It's the second highest mountain of the 7 summits, Everest obviously being the highest mountain.
Neil Tebbett and his team invited me to join the Aconcagua Gutsy Challenge in late 2017. I've always had an adventurous spirit, and it struck me that this was an opportunity to get involved in something that perhaps I would never otherwise do in my life. We raised approximately $140,000, of which I personally raised over $40,000. Nearly raised enough funds to support one innovation grant. It was absolutely amazing to think that I could actually achieve that.
And we've also done the Larapinta Trail in Central Australia. It's a wonderful thing to get together with your other members or friends or patients or supporters and do together.
People would come to the group with an idea and want to perhaps run a small-scale study. We didn't have any funds available to support members with those new ideas.
The AGITG Innovation Fund is a fund designed to fund small pilot studies of 10 to 20 patients usually, in order to generate data that can be used to attract much larger funds for a larger grant. Only when we can run those larger studies are we going to make a significant difference.
Initially, the AGITG Innovation Fund was able to fund one $100,000 grant each year. That's since grown to one $200,000 grant each year, and the organisation has ambitions to fund 3 $200,000 grants each by 2023. I think there's many ways in which members of our organisation can help and be involved in the fundraising process, such as talking to patients and about what we do and what our goals and missions are, and just spreading the message of the AGITG as an organisation.
When people ask me how they can help, what I usually do is ask them whether I can pass their details on to our fundraising team. For me, that's the easiest way.
You know, it is a bit of a step to then start talking to patients about making a donation. You don't feel so comfortable to begin with, but as you do more and more of it, it turns out that it's easier than you think as a clinician, and I think patients do appreciate it.
Our major donors cannot be thanked enough for really providing that sustainable and consistent funding. I'm not asking them for money or talking about money in any way. I'm just talking about what I'm already doing. That's all they want to know. They want to know, what do you actually do? What are the things that you would like to see happen?
You don't know what's happening around the next corner. I see that every day. So I think doing something like taking part in the Gutsy Challenge is an opportunity to do something different, challenge yourself. It's an experience you're not otherwise going to do. I'd encourage everyone to take part.
So I am optimistic and positive that our fundraising targets can be met. It'll be hard work, but I think together as an organisation, as a team, with us all contributing, it can be done.
I'd really like to see all of our members engaged in fundraising because it enriches the group. It makes us more exciting, more appealing, and will make us do better work.